the more I focus on getting 100K a month, the 50K a month comes easy. If you can adapt the mindset of someone who already has made it, someone who already has that $1 million in their bank account, someone who's already a profitable trader, if you can brainwash yourself into believing so, right? The times when you're gonna want to break your rules, you're not gonna break your rules, right? You're not gonna FOMO, you're not gonna do XYZ, because you're literally gonna be making so much more fucking money when you detach from the result, when you detach from the outcome, when you detach on that day-to-day basis. You want to rush the process like, I need this to work today, I need this to work today. No, the fuck you don't need it to work. Yo, what's good, YouTube? Alright, we back at it with another YouTube video. So I'm just about to make some lunch right now. Right, I'll show y'all what we got cooking up. Alright, we got some onion right here. We about to make some onion, this camera's bugging, bro. I gotta show y'all like this, but this shit bugging. Yeah, we got some of them. We go in the fridge here. Shit is bugging. About to make this grass-fed steak type shit. But I thought I'd just talk about the market recently, talk about kind of where my headspace is at, what I'm looking to do into the coming weeks, into February, to guarantee success for myself, guarantee success for others, kind of talk about the plan of action that you need to have going into this next month. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with, right, price action. Okay, price action in January was extremely mid. If you look at the higher time frames, we are basically just consolidating back and forth. Now, what you need to do, right, is not let a month like this, not let a consolidation month kind of determine your headspace. Not let a consolidation month develop psych issues, okay? I just put the camera up while I'm cooking this food right here. But it's very easy for you to have one bad month, you to have one break-even month, and from there, right, allow it to infringe on your mindset, allow it to, you know, give you less confidence in your edge, less confidence in your strategy. And this is the importance of having a trade journal, because if you're able to look back at 1 year of data, 1 year of your trading, and look at a month like November, look at a month like October when your strategy was performing really well, the market conditions were better, we actually had a trend on the higher time frames, you'd be sitting here not as stressed out. You'd be sitting here still confident in your edge, right? So into January, one of the mistakes that I made was going into the year super hot, right? I was thinking January is going to be my year. I was thinking from only a price action standpoint, I was thinking January is going to be it. I'm going to make hella money in January. I'm going to try to pass these evals hella quick. I'm going to size up, etc., etc. But, right, I wasn't really paying attention to the price action on the higher time frames, right? And on the higher time frames, price was not clean at all. We were more in consolidation territory. And for trading, continuation models, even trading this ICT in general, like with a focus on clean deliveries, if the higher time frame is clean and the lower time frame is clean, you're going to have a clean delivery, right, to your draw and liquidities. Now, if the lower time frame is clean but the higher time frame isn't clean, the probability of us having a clean delivery to the draws is much fucking lower. So during all of January, right, the lower time frame was clean, but the higher time frames weren't clean. And realistically, what has more significance? The higher time frames have more significance. So for me to basically be trading January, applying, heavy risk in the markets, trying to pass evals super quick, sizing up on setups that necessarily didn't look the best on the higher time frame, but looked good on the lower time frame, not exactly set myself up for failure, but allowed me to be break even on the month. Now, I'm glad I'm not really red on the month. I'm more break even. And I've, followed my rules all month, which was great. But that being said, I should have been playing more from a defense perspective, right? I really went to the month playing an offense perspective. Now, right, one bad month of price action doesn't determine the rest of the year. one bad month of price action doesn't determine yourself as a trader, okay? So just because you had one bad month doesn't mean the other 11 months in the year are going to be bad. Now that being said, right, even if you were a profitable trader, even if you had $1 million portfolio and a bad month comes around, you need to know how to keep your head on that swivel. You need to know how to make rational decisions. You need to know when to play defense versus offense, okay? So for January this month, right, even though I'm a profitable trader, I'm not, millionaire trader yet. I needed this month to really show myself that even though I have a very profitable edge in the markets, I have to know exactly when to deploy that edge. And the best time to deploy that edge is when price action on the higher time frames is extremely clean. And when price action on the higher time frames is not clean and only clean on the low time frame, that's when the edge does not perform to the best of its ability. Now, the only way I know this information is because I went ahead and reviewed this month, went ahead and reviewed my losses, went ahead and reviewed my wins. And that's the importance of data, because if you didn't collect this data on your strategy, you wouldn't exactly even know what I'm talking about right now. You wouldn't even know how to reflect. Okay. Another thing I'm going to start incorporating, which I did for half the month and which I stopped doing, but like I said, I'm going to start incorporating, and that's basically getting this onion done. Also journaling the fade days, journaling the days when I don't take a trade, because a lot of the times now, like especially with my strategy, is there's a lot of quote unquote semi-decent opportunities that present. Now, those semi-decent opportunities come around and I don't take them as a trade. Now, just because I don't take them as a trade doesn't mean there is some potential learning experience from that setup. For example, today, right, we had very clean price action on the higher time frames. I went in today looking to take a trade, right? We had an hourly gap above, and out of the hourly gap, we had a 5-minute inversion. Now, I faded the 5-minute inversion due to the fact that as soon as the 5-minute closed, we had news at 7 a.m. So I faded that setup, right, and it ended up playing out. And I'm seeing a lot of people on Instagram actually took that setup also. Now, that being said, I didn't take a trade on the day, so I have really nothing to quote-unquote journal, but at the same time, I faded a setup which played out for XYZ reasons. Therefore, right, I'm not going to label it as a mistake because it necessarily wasn't a mistake. Honestly, I don't even know if I would take that shit going forward, but the setup was really, really good except for that one reason. So that being said, I'm going to journal that quote-unquote scenario and look to improve from there. Yeah, so we're almost done with this onion now. But yeah, it's just about like improving as a trader, improving outside of the markets, improving within the markets, right? Improving your mental, improving yourself. And one of the things that I'm going to actually start improving on is my ability to meditate, my ability to be still within my mind. Because the more still you can be within your mind, the more relaxed you're going to be on an everyday basis, the less anxiety you're going to have, the more you're going to be, like trusting in the process, the more you're going to be, methodical in your approaches. When you give yourself time to meditate on potentially the day, on potentially the trading session, it allows you to truly look deep into your actions of what actually occurred, during that time while you were trading. Allows you to reflect on those moments and allows you to grow and move forward as an individual. So one of the things that I'm going to be implementing into February, which is what I'm going to do right after eating my lunch here in between going to class, is I'm going to meditate on my trading day, meditate on my experiences, meditate what occurred, how did I react, try to remember as best as I can my emotions in XYZ scenario, my thought process in XYZ scenario, because the more that I'm able to reflect on my actions that occurred while I was on the charts, the more next time I'm on the charts, I'm able to stay conscious of my decisions, okay? It's just about like building the mental muscle, building the mental fortitude, and and the mental strength to stay conscious of what you need to do while in the charts, because a lot of the time, you might take a loss and that sparks some emotion within yourself, causes you to crash out, etc. However, if you've built the brain muscle to kind of recognize, stay conscious in the time when you're on the charts, you've meditated on that fact, you've built that once again that muscle in order to do so, there is a much higher chance that you're not going to crash out on the charts, that you're going to be methodical in your approach, is that you're going to allow XYZs to play out without infringing, allow potential B setup to run its course without having the FOMO of missing out, right? There's a lot of benefits to meditating, zero negatives. There's actually zero fucking negatives. So when you're looking at something with zero negatives, only positives, you'd be stupid not to do it. And meditation on reflection on the trading day is something that I've never really thought of before until watching a podcast last night. And this one individual spoke deeply on the importance of meditation. And that's an aspect of my life that I haven't, I would say, dove into yet, which is why I'm now eager to give it a try, to see how it will benefit me as an individual, see how it can propel me to that next level and allow me to become more conscious of my thoughts and my mind. And so a lot of people hearing this today, a lot of people in general, they don't strive like big enough. Like they strive for like a 10K month, they strive for like a 20K month, but like realistically, your habits have to be aligned with the individual of 100K per month to even get close to a 10K month, a 20K month, right? So the more that I'm over here doing habits that align with an individual that's making, right, 100K per month, meditating, right, sticking to very clean diet, gym every single day, right, taking care of my mental health, right, like relaxation, massages, etc., like just trying to better myself as an individual, live, a really good life, solely gonna propel me forward to that 100K month. The more I focus on getting 100K month, the 50K month comes easy. The more I focus on getting the 100K month, that 20K month comes like butter. You feel me? But if I'm solely focused on a 20K month, 20K month, 10K month, right? I'm not gonna have the mind expansion. I'm gonna be thinking too small on my goals. I'm gonna let small shit fucking mess with me, right? When instead I should be my goals so big that this small shit doesn't even matter. Like imagine you like, okay, let's we're like a brain trick. We're gonna brain trick yourself into thinking you have $1 million in your bank account, right? You have $1 million in your bank account right now, and you buy 5 50Ks on topstep, and you blow them. What is that? $500. But you got $1 million in your bank account. Are you gonna give a shit? No, the fuck you're not. Shit. No, the fuck you're not, right? Now, if you have not a lot of money in your bank account and you blow that 500, you can be like, fuck, dude, I'm fucked. Your emotions are gonna be high, X, Y, and Z, right? If you can adapt the mindset of someone who already has made it, someone who already has that $1 million in their bank account, someone who's already a profitable trader, if you can brainwash yourself into believing so, right? The times when you're going to want to break your rules, you're not going to break your rules, right? You're not going to FOMO, you're not going to do X, Y, Z because you don't need to make money today because you already have fucking money, okay? So basically what I'm trying to say is that you need to develop the belief that you're already who you want to be. You're already that profitable trader. You're already making whatever 100K per month trading, and ask yourself, how does that individual react to shit? How does that individual move on the charts? How does that individual trade? And develop that same mindset, and the small problems are going to go away. The breaking of rules on an individual trade basis is going to go away, because the only reason you break trading rules in the first place is because you're stood there thinking it's the end of the world, thinking that this account has so much importance. Imagine you just don't give a fucking shit. Imagine you trade for sport. Imagine you don't even get paid to trade. There'd be no reason for you to break. If I was to stand here and tell you, right, give me a second, that you're going to be trading for fun and there's no fucking money involved at all, you just trade for fun. It's like a game. You would never break your fucking rules. The only reason why you break your rules is because there's money involved in the first place. So if we're over here, right, not thinking in terms of money, but just thinking in terms of the game, thinking in terms of the edge, thinking like a data scientist, thinking like an algorithm, not thinking like a fucking bitch-ass human, okay, your trading is just going to be so much better. Your trading is just going to be so much smoother. You're going to be making so much more fucking money in your trading, okay? By the way, look what we got. Got the onion going with the steak. You're literally going to be making so much more fucking money when you detach from the result, when you detach from the outcome, when you detach on that day-to-day basis. You want to rush the process like, I need this to work today. I need this to work today. No, the fuck you don't need it to work today because you already are that millionaire trader because you've already made it, okay? You think like this. This is the mindset that I've been adapting. Okay, this is the mindset that I'm attempting to utilize on a day-to-day basis. Now, you're not always conscious of this mindset, but as long as you try your best to be conscious of this mindset while you're on the charts, meditate with the current version of yourself versus the 100K per month version of yourself on the charts, that version of yourself that never breaks his rules, it's going to get you so far. It's going to get you to that next level. It's going to get you really, really putting up these big numbers. But all it comes down to, right, is the habits on a day-to-day basis, following your trading plan, right? Building those habits outside the charts, building that momentum in your life outside the charts. So when it comes down to the charts, you're already that individual. You're already that guy. Get what I'm saying? You might think what I'm saying today is slightly crazy. I don't know. Maybe you don't think that at all. Maybe you think what I'm saying is 100% legit. I think what I'm saying is 130% legit, right? And the sooner you adapt this mindset, the sooner you adopt the mindset of a winner, the sooner you adopt the mindset of, I don't need this today, I'm already that fucking guy, the sooner you adopt that shit, everything's just going to be so much smoother in your trading, right? When you make something normal, when you make something regular, it loses its importance. Trading should be normal. Trading should be regular. Following your rules should be normal. Following your rules should be a habit. Following your rules should be fucking regular. The more significance you give it, the more oomph you give it, it's just going to deter from what you need to do. You need to make it seem like it's an everyday thing. Like, for example, breathing. You don't even think about it, you just fucking do it. And of course you fucking do it. Eating. You don't even think about it, you just fucking do it, right? Like that's the way following the rules should be. You don't even think about it, you just fucking do it. It's like a humanly, what do you call it? It's like just a human instinct to follow your rules. That's the way you need to program your mind to act within the charts. It's a instinct of yours to follow your rules. To not follow your rules is to stop breathing. To not follow your rules, right, is to truly deter from that path. And it's a bad feeling, bro. You know when you're not following your rules. You have that inner feeling within your gut. So it's you already know what you're doing is wrong. It's just about like staying conscious of, once again, that 100K per month individual, the highest version of yourself, that guy who doesn't need to break his rules, doesn't break his rules at all because he's already rich as fuck. He's already that individual. He's already that guy. There's no reason for him to go on a tangent breaking his rules. Okay? So, what I said today, I want everyone to follow. And I was just about to make this meal and kind of sit in silence, maybe throw in a podcast, but I thought I'd just pull out the camera, show you guys what's up, show you guys my thought process on the day. You know, I wanted to kind of sit down and make a video later, but at the same time, I've been super busy as of late, but I still want to, you know, make sure I give my full energy into YouTube. So even though I'm making food, I still felt like this was a decent talk, still a good talk. Just kind of giving you guys a glimpse into the headspace of how I've been working as of late and how I plan to work into the future. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, check out my Instagram, MoneyMaxTrades. We've been posting a lot on there. And if you want to learn more about the way I trade, I post a fuck ton of value, fuck ton of free value. Trade recaps on the regular. So go check those out. And yeah, I catch y'all boys in the motherfucking next one. Let's get this fucking money, bro. Let's get this money.